Hey friends, it's Ashley and I am here today with a new layout for Hip Kit Club, and I'm using the June 2019 kits. These kits have a lot of Vicky Bouton and Heidi Swap, and that's pretty much what I used for my layout. And I cheated, and off camera I went ahead and stitched a circle on my layout, and I'm going to get started putting things together. This is just a circle cut from one of the Vicky Bouton papers, and I'm going to add it to the center of my stitch circle. And then I want to place my photo. I already had an idea of where I wanted my photo, so I didn't even add any stitching there because I knew it would be covered up. And I want that to sit up a little higher, so I added some dimensional foam behind the photo. And this layout is kind of focusing on numbers and letters. So there's this cute sticker sheet from Heidi Swap, and it is from the Color Fresh collection, and it has these numbers. So I decided to do a 10 things I love about you layout, and I wanted to use all of these numbers here. And I only had one number one, so I get creative here and I take one of the other Heidi Swap papers and I'm going to fussy cut the number 10 from it so I can use it also as a part of my title. So I'm just going to trim both of these out. They're kind of big letters, so they're pretty easy to trim. There is a little skinny part, so you have to be really careful going around that, but I was able to cut those out. And so I'm just going to do both of these here, and then you'll see how I'm going to put them on my layout next to the other numbers. And they're a little bit bigger, which I kind of liked because this part is part of the title. So I like that the 10 is a little bit bigger than the sticker numbers. And I wanted to cut out the center, and I had originally planned to use the front side of this the way it was on the pattern paper, but when I get done cutting, I actually end up flipping it over to put the adhesive on, and I actually liked the other side better, so I decided to go with the pink side up. And now I'm going to use some thickers that are included in the June kits. These are indigo, and I'm just going to place out the title 10 Things I Love About You. And it's kind of a play on the movie 10 Things I Hate About You, but definitely didn't want to do that one, so I changed it to love instead. And I'm just going to place these around the circle. I like having the stitch circle because it gives me a guide for my letters and makes it easy to place them on the layout. And there's also another thicker pack in the kit, and I'm going to use that also in the center part of the layout here in just a minute. So I knew that I was going to have some open space around my photo, and I wanted to put some embellishing there, so I grabbed the ephemera pack from Vicky Bouton. This is the Kaleidoscope collection, and I'm kind of going through and picking out some things that I want to use, just kind of colors that coordinate and things like that. And since I'm going to be adding some things that I love about my daughter, there were a couple of pieces in the ephemera pack that kind of matched. Like she really likes animals, so I'm going to use the bird, and she's also very artistic, so I do use the little pencil and also a paintbrush later on. So I'm just kind of picking out some things from the ephemera pack that I can use. And I really wanted to create a fun cluster around the photo because I knew most of my other embellishing would be inside the circle. So I like this kind of off balance look with like a big cluster on the left hand side, and my title kind of being on the right hand side. So I'm going to look for a couple of other things that I want to put in that cluster, trying to fit as many of those embellishments there, since a lot of my layout consists of numbers and letters. I also want to balance it out with some embellishments too. So one of the ephemera birds is going to go right down there at the bottom. I wanted to pop him up, so I do add some foam behind that to give it some dimension. And that kind of finishes off that cluster there. I do add a few things later on. And now I'm going to get started in the center with the things I love about our daughter. And I'm just going to do a few words here just so you can get the idea and the look that I'm going for. I'm going to mix the indigo thickers and the other gold thickers that I have. And continuing the number theme, I wanted to use the little circle pieces from this chipboard pack, and there are some black ones and some craft colored ones. So I'm going to mix those to number each one of the things that I put there. And so I did funny. I'm also going to do cute. And believe it or not, even after putting all of these, even the title and the little words here, I still have plenty of thickers left. So I still didn't even use up all of my thickers, which is good because this is a fun way to make use of your thickers, but you still have them for other layouts that you want to create throughout the month. And so these are the gold thickers. I really like these too because they're a little bit smaller, and they have two different kinds. One has kind of like a solid matte gold finish, and the other one is more of a glittery gold finish. And so that gives you two options in this pack. And you can see right now I'm using the glitter type, and I'm going to use the matte type too a little bit later. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this one, and then I'll finish the rest of that off camera and then come back so you can see all of that done. And I've got some space, so I wanted to go ahead and embellish a little bit more. So here's the paintbrush that I wanted to add, and I'm kind of trying to add these things around the words that they go with. So I added the paintbrush around artistic. I wanted to use the butterfly around the word free spirit and sassy. And I also like these little puffy circles. I wanted to add some more of those, so I put one at the bottom. And then the little chipboard bird around animal lover. And then I'm just kind of going through seeing what fits. I wanted to use another one of these circle Heidi swap stickers, and I always like to pop up my stickers. So I am going to add some foam behind that and put it right there with the word helpful. She is a little wild, so that was a good one to add there. And I wanted to add one of the little postage stamps from the sticker sheet, but it didn't really fit, so I decided to use the little camera instead and put the postage stamp back. And I was kind of looking for something to add on that left-hand side, kind of in between the photo and where some of the other words are. And I didn't want to add another circle because I already had the 3 circles in the cluster, and I had the circles for the numbers. So I was trying to decide what I wanted to put right there, and I couldn't figure it out, so I just added another phrase sticker at the top for the moment until I thought about what I wanted to put there. And then I noticed this little flower ephemera piece, and some of these ephemera pieces in this Vicky Bouton pack are pretty large, but I like these flowers because you can cut them down. So I just decided to cut these a little bit smaller and just fussy cut them, and I add 2 at the top, and I'm also going to add 1 over on that wild sticker that I added earlier, just to give an even number of 3, since I like doing things in 3s. And that just is a fun embellishment to add, and I was able to use that little flower ephemera piece in a way that I might not use it anywhere else on a layout. So I like that that gave me some flowers to add to the page. And I wanted to finish up with my date, so I just used my date stamp to add that right there under the flower. And that finishes up my layout. You can see the full layout at the end as well as a close-up. And make sure you head over to the Hip Kit Club website to check out the June kits, and you can also see the July kit reveal while you're there. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope to see you next time.